I arrived early because arriving early meant I could help, and help meant no one could accuse me of hovering. The house smelled like rosemary and something sweet burning at the edges. The tree leaned slightly to the left as it had for years, propped by a wedge my brother promised to fix every December and never did. My mother kissed my cheek with a warmth that felt practiced. She handed me a towel and pointed at a stack of plates as if we'd been mid-conversation all along. I like kitchens during holidays. There's motion and purpose. You can rinse a dish and know exactly what you've accomplished. By the time everyone arrived, the air had thickened with voices. My brother took the seat at the head of the table without noticing he'd done it. His wife slid in beside him, already mid-story about traffic, about the kids, about how tired she was. The kids fanned out with the loose energy of people who know the adults will forgive anything tonight. Someone poured wine too generously. Someone laughed too loudly. It all looked right. It always looks right. The comments came the way they always did, gently, with a smile. Questions that weren't questions. You still doing that consulting thing? Must be nice to work from home. You're so low-key. I wish I didn't care about stuff like you. I answered politely. I kept my voice light. I told myself what I always tell myself. They don't mean harm, they mean hierarchy. There's a difference. Dinner was nearly ready when my nephew, 7, Ernest, missing 2 teeth, looked straight at me and asked it. He asked it the way children ask about weather or gravity. Why does Mom say you can't afford real gifts? The table made a sound together. A soft snicker, the kind that passes as surprise. Someone said, "Oh my God," but smiling. Someone else laughed outright. My brother looked down at his plate like it might offer instructions. His wife reached for her wine. I felt the familiar heat, the quick internal scramble. Don't embarrass the kid and don't make it weird. Don't overreact. Don't let this become a thing. What struck me wasn't the question, it was the ease of it. The confidence with which it had been delivered, as if it were the family policy. I took a sip of wine. It tasted thin. "Cool," I said. I said it calmly, the way you say it when someone tells you the store is out of milk. Then I'll cancel the credit card she uses. It took a second. Then my brother knocked his glass, red spreading across the tablecloth like a sudden map. The kids went quiet, not understanding, but sensing gravity. My mother stared at the serving bowl as if she'd misplaced something inside it. No one laughed this time. I didn't. My brother started, then stopped. He looked at his wife. She looked at me, then away, then back again. The room had shifted into a different register, one where words mattered. "I'm not mad," I said, because it was true. It just seems confusing to tell people I can't afford things while using my account. So logistics. My voice sounded strange to me, steady, almost professional, as if I were explaining a billing error. My mother finally spoke. "Let's not do this tonight." Not was not a question, not a correction, a request for quiet. Waited with habit. I nodded. I didn't repeat myself. I didn't need to. The thing I had said was already moving around the table, rearranging the air. Dinner continued. The food was good. Compliments were offered and received. Someone changed the subject to a show everyone pretended to have seen. The kids resumed eating, slower now. No one mentioned gifts again. I watched my brother carefully, the way he avoided my eyes, the way he measured his words, the way his wife's hand rested on his arm, not affectionate, but anchoring. I realized then how long this had been in place, how many small assumptions had been layered over time, how comfortable it had all become. After dessert, my mother pulled me aside near the sink. She kept her voice low. "You didn't have to say it like that," she sighed. "I said it plainly," I replied. She sighed. "You know how they are." I nodded. I did know. That was the point. When it was time to leave, there were hugs. Polite, careful hugs. My nephew hugged my leg and asked if I liked his new sweater. I told him I did. I meant it. At the door, my brother cleared his throat. "We should talk." "Sure," I said. Not tonight. I didn't add that part, but he heard it anyway. Outside, the cold cut cleanly. I sat in my car for a moment before starting it, hands on the wheel, breath visible. I didn't feel victorious. I didn't feel cruel. I felt something closer to alignment, as if a long-standing misprint had finally been corrected. On the drive home, I thought about how easy it would be to frame this as a win, a neat reversal. But it wasn't that. It was quieter. It was the knowledge that the story they told about me could no longer coexist with the reality they depended on. Some things would change now. Some wouldn't. I would still be the odd one out in certain conversations. My mother would still look away when tension rose. But there was a line now, visible and undeniable. I parked, turned the engine off, and sat in the dark a little longer. The holiday lights across the street blinked on and off, patient and indifferent. Tomorrow I would follow through, not angrily, just correctly. Dignity, it doesn't arrive with applause. It arrives when you stop subsidizing the fiction.